People sometimes would look and say, oh, you're a nice girl, and do you really know what you're getting into, and are you going to be able to handle the heat? Growing up in Hawaii, I was the shyest of all the kids in my family. Just the act of picking up the phone and talking to a stranger would scare me. If you would have asked any of my siblings if they ever saw me in politics, they all would have laughed. It's been an interesting path from being that shy little girl in Hawaii who loved surfing to now being a member of Congress who still loves surfing. At the age of 21, I became the youngest person elected in Hawaii's history to a state legislature. When I first made the decision to run, I didn't fully realize that would mean I would have to knock on thousands of doors and give speeches. What got me through these multiple hurdles on a daily basis over years was always coming back to that bottom line, is just saying, Tulsi, this is not about you. And understanding that this was about a mission that was bigger than myself. I enlisted in the Hawaii Army National Guard a little less than a year after getting elected and shipped off to basic training after our legislative session was done. A year later, as I was campaigning for re-election, our brigade combat team was activated for duty in Iraq. It was not a difficult decision for me to leave my elected office and volunteer to deploy. It was an 18-month-long deployment in a medical unit in a place about 40 miles north of Baghdad. I deployed for a second time as a military police platoon leader. I was responsible for 45 soldiers during the year that we were gone. We were able to make sure that everyone came home. I remain very proud of that and proud of my time there. No one serves in a combat situation or in a combat zone without coming back changed in some way. When you are faced with the stark reality of the fragile nature of life, gives you a sense of urgency. That led me to take a job with Senator Akaka in Washington, where he was the chair of the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee. I saw very quickly how interconnected we all are and the decisions that are made affecting us from a foreign policy perspective, affecting where our troops go into battle, when and why, and the kinds of service that we are providing to our veterans coming home. One of the biggest driving reasons for me to run for Congress was to do whatever I could to make sure that my brothers and sisters in arms were not unnecessarily put into harm's way.
Meet Democrat Tulsi Gabbard, a decorated war veteran who wants to end the Afghanistan war.
I'm Tulsi Gabbard, and I approve this message because we need to end the nonsense in Washington.
Coming into Congress, I was told by the so-called political establishment over and over again that I was far too young and far too inexperienced and that I should just sit back and wait my turn. Because of the work that I did in building partnerships, we passed this bill unanimously, got it through unanimously in the Senate, and the president signed it into law within the span of about 4 months. Here in Congress, sometimes people assume that with youth comes naivete and inexperience, but I think it allows for a different type of energy and a different type of contribution, not willing to accept, no, that's not possible as an answer.